Today we're going to be talking about rubrics. A rubric is a scoring tool that represents the expectations for an assignment. A rubric divides work into components and provides clear descriptions of the work associated with each component at varying levels of mastery. Rubrics can be used for papers, projects, oral presentations, artistic performances, group projects, or essentially anything that can be graded. Using a rubric provides many advantages to both instructors and students. Grading according to an explicit and descriptive set of criteria helps ensure that the instructor's grading standards don't change. Grading consistency is difficult to maintain over time because of fatigue and shifting standards based on prior experiences. Rubrics can also minimize time spent grading by reducing uncertainty and allowing instructors to refer to the descriptions rather than having to write out long comments. Additionally, grading rubrics are very valuable in courses that have multiple graders, such as other instructors or teaching assistants, because it can help ensure consistency across graders and reduce the bias that can be introduced between graders. Rubrics can help instructors get a clearer picture of the strengths and weaknesses of their class as well. By recording the component score and tallying up the number of students scoring below an acceptable level on each component, instructors can identify those skills or concepts that need more instructional time and student effort. Grading rubrics are also very valuable to students. A rubric can help instructors communicate to students specific requirements and acceptable performance standards of an assessment. When rubrics are given to students with the assignment description, they can help students monitor and assess their progress as they work toward clearly defined goals. When assignments are scored and returned with the rubric, students can more easily recognize the strengths and weaknesses of their work and direct their efforts accordingly. Creating a rubric isn't as easy as it may seem, so let's look at a tool for creating rubrics online. Today what we're going to look at is a tool called Rubistar. To start, we're going to go to the top and click Create Rubric. You can create a logon for Rubistar, but it's not necessary. Let's say we want to work on a rubric for reading. First, we need to put in our information. And then we need to put in a project name for this rubric. Let's just say Miss Curb's 3rd grade class. Rubistar also wants to know what your zip code is, so go ahead and enter that, or enter 99004, which is Eastern zip code, if you don't want to enter your own. Say that this rubric is temporary unless you want to save it in your account. And then we're going to look at the categories we want to score on. Let's say we want to grade on staying on task. Once we choose that category, Rubistar automatically fills in the different components for us. Here we see clear descriptions of each level of work. Students would earn 4 points if they read the entire period. They must be independent reading or done with an adult or peer assistance as assigned. 3 points would be earned for reading aloud almost the entire period, 80% or more of the time. 2 points would be given for 50% or more of the time, and 1 point would be if the student wasted a lot of time while reading. One of the neat things about Rubistar is that you can change whatever you don't like. If you want to remove one part or add something new, you have the flexibility to do so. You continue by selecting new categories, whichever you'd like, or if you want, you can choose your own. And then insert your information here. Once you're finished, you can scroll to the bottom, hit submit, and you have your rubric. Now what you can do is you can print or download it right off of the website, or you can make it available online if you create a login with Rubistar. However, what I like to do just for ease is I like to copy and paste it into Word. Once we've pasted it into Word, we can change it as we see fit. If you want to change the design, you can just select the entire table, go to the Design tab, and it's very, very easy to change right up here at the top. This makes it look much, much nicer than you can make it look on Rubistar. If you want to change information, it's just as easy as typing something new. Now I'd like you guys to head to the Assignments folder because your first assignment will be to create a rubric.